Right now, as you watch this, the largest wealth transfer in human history is happening. While you're scrolling through your phone, deciding whether to keep watching or click away, billions of dollars are moving. And here's the shocking truth. $45 trillion is at risk of vanishing right before your eyes as it's passed from one generation to the next. That means your inheritance, the money you might one day receive, could be worth nothing unless you act quickly. But don't worry, because I'm about to show you how silver is the key to not just preserving your wealth, but multiplying it. And here's why the next 24 months could change everything for you. Stay tuned, because what I'm about to reveal could mean the difference between securing generational wealth and watching it disappear. This isn't just about money, it's about survival. Survival in a system that's rigged to erode your wealth. What's happening right now is bigger than the markets, bigger than real estate, bigger than cryptocurrency. In fact, it's the oldest wealth preservation strategy in human history that's making a comeback. And if you think you've got time, think again. 45 trillion, yes, trillion, is about to move from baby boomers to Gen X and millennials over the next decade. But here's the catch. It's not going to be a slow, steady transfer. It's front-loaded. That means right now, today, more money is being passed down than ever before. In the next 10 years, $45 trillion will flow from one generation to the next. But the problem is, most people won't even realize this is happening until it's too late. What happens if you're not ready when the wealth shifts? Here's where the rubber meets the road. You've heard the numbers, but now let's talk about the reality. $124 trillion is set to transfer over the next 22 years. That's more than 5 times the current GDP of the United States. Mind-blowing, right? But here's the part that should make you sit up. Right now, in January 2026, $45 trillion is being passed down in just the next decade. That's $4.5 trillion per year. Think about that. Every single month, $375 billion is shifting. That's $12.3 billion every single day. It's moving so fast that the typical person, most people, don't even notice. But here's what most people aren't saying out loud. The value of that inheritance isn't going to be what it looks like today. Why? The dollar is collapsing. Inflation is eating away at your wealth. And if you're planning to hold on to this money in dollars or bonds, you're setting yourself up to lose it all. This is where the real danger begins. Now, things are about to get real. You see, this isn't just a one-time event. It's part of a larger systemic problem. The U.S. national debt crossed $38 trillion earlier this month. The interest alone on that debt is more than what the government spends on defense. And that's just the beginning. We're entering a debt spiral, a point of no return. The government has only 2 choices: default, which would obliterate the dollar instantly, or inflate, which means devaluing the currency slowly and painfully. They'll choose inflation. That means every dollar you think you've inherited will be worth less tomorrow. And this isn't some far-off theory. It's happening right now. The Federal Reserve just injected $51 billion into the banking system last month to stop a financial collapse. That's how bad things are. And with every dollar they print, your inheritance is shrinking. But here's where it flips. While your money loses value, the people who understand what's happening are moving fast to preserve and grow their wealth in ways you haven't even considered yet. Now, let me hit you with something that should change how you see all of this. While the dollar is collapsing, real wealth is being preserved in hard assets. You're probably thinking, well, real estate's the answer, right? Or maybe gold, but listen closely. Silver is the secret weapon, and here's why. Gold prices have surged. Yes, they've hit record highs, but silver has skyrocketed even more. In fact, silver is up 150% just last year. That's not a fluke. This isn't some bubble. It's a repricing. The market is realizing that paper assets, stocks, bonds, dollars, they're worthless when the dollar crashes. But silver, it's the one asset that's still cheap compared to where it's going. At $89 an ounce, it's trading far below its historical value. If silver just gets back to the average price ratio with gold, we're looking at a 73% increase just to catch up. And that's conservative. Here's the kicker. The people who are about to inherit $45 trillion, they're already shifting their wealth into silver. They know what's coming. The question is, will you get on board before it's too late? Things are moving fast and the pressure is building. You might not see it, but we're entering a financial storm. First, the U.S. Mint suspended silver sales because of unprecedented demand. That's the government saying they can't keep up. Then, last week, J.P. Morgan cornered 99% of all silver deliveries. That's right. One bank took nearly all of the monthly supply. This isn't normal. This isn't even close to normal. And on top of all that, global silver production is already at a breaking point. Every year, industrial demand, solar panels, electric vehicles, batteries grows by 15 to 20%. But the supply is not there. There's a shortfall of over 100 million ounces every year, and it's been piling up for years. And guess what? The people with money, the ones who are moving billions, Gen X and millennials, they're not waiting around. They're already moving their wealth into silver. What happens when the last of the supply runs out? Now, let's bring this closer to home. Imagine this. You inherit $500,000. What do you do with it? Put it in a savings account earning next to nothing while inflation eats away at it? Maybe you invest in the stock market, but you've seen the bubbles pop before 2008, 2020. Or do you sit on it waiting for the right time only to find out the game has changed? The truth is, millions of everyday people will face this exact dilemma over the next decade. And for most of them, the answer will be too late. They'll watch as their inheritance loses value, as inflation, taxes, and a failing dollar make it disappear before their eyes. But there's a way to avoid that trap. Silver is not just for the ultra-wealthy. It's a way for anyone inheriting money to preserve and grow wealth. If this sounds familiar, if you've ever felt the pressure of watching your savings lose value, drop a comment below. Let's talk about how you can avoid the same fate. Now, let's step back for a second and look at the bigger picture. Why is this happening? Why is the dollar being destroyed? And why are assets like silver taking off? The answer lies in the systems that drive our economy. There's a mechanism at work here that most people don't fully grasp. Governments and the financial institutions they rely on have a single, simple solution to debt: inflate. When debt gets too high to pay back, the only way out is to devalue the currency. And that's exactly what we're seeing. The U.S. government is printing money at an unprecedented rate, and the Federal Reserve is pulling the strings behind the scenes. It's all about leverage, spectacle, and control. The more they print, the less your money is worth. But here's the thing. It's all happening with your money. Your inheritance, your future wealth, it's being eroded by inflation and irresponsible financial practices. And while the government plays this game, those who understand the system are buying hard assets, things that cannot be printed, things that have real value, like silver. So, what's next? How does this all unfold from here? Well, there are two possible paths, and both are going to have massive implications. On one hand, we could see a massive surge in demand for hard assets like silver as more people start to wake up to the reality of what's happening. If that happens, silver's price could easily double or triple within the next 24 months. On the other hand, we could see more market manipulation and money printing, creating an even deeper economic collapse. But here's the catch. We're already seeing signs of both. The market's momentum is building, and there's no turning back. But no one can predict exactly how it's going to play out. What's clear, though, is this. The people who make their move now, who position themselves with hard assets, will be the ones who weather the storm. But for those who wait too long, the window is closing fast. The wealth transfer is happening. The question isn't if, but when and if you'll be positioned to capture it or miss out. Here's the hard truth. The $45 trillion wealth transfer is not a future event. It's happening right now. As you're watching this, people are making decisions that will determine whether they keep their wealth or watch it disappear. Silver at 89s, it's not expensive, it's a gift. A chance to secure your wealth before the rest of the world catches on. But here's the thing. The window to act is closing. The mints are running out of silver. The markets are collapsing. And those who wait will be locked out. This isn't just about silver. It's about understanding the system, seeing the writing on the wall, and positioning yourself for the wealth transfer that's already underway. The people who act now, who make the right choices, will be the ones who thrive in the next financial era. The rest, they'll wonder why they didn't take action sooner. So make your move, buy silver, hold it, and prepare for a future where hard assets are the only thing that matters. Subscribe for more because the next chapter of this story is already unfolding and you don't want to miss it.